Hello everyone, welcome back once again to my YouTube channel. If you don't know already, I am a new mom, and in today's video I want to share with you the top 5 things that I learned in my first 30 days of being a mom. Please before we continue, do well to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and at the end of the video please feel free to share your comment with me. What do you think? If you're a new mom, what are the things you learned in your first 30 days of being a new mom? If you're an anticipating mom, what are the things that you were able to take away from this video? All right, let's get right into it. So the first thing that I learned was that it is okay to ask for help. Being a new mom can be very overwhelming, and if you try to do it alone, you would be very exhausted. So the first thing that I did, even while I was pregnant, was to of course let my mom know that she would be coming around for Omugwo, and not just that she'll be coming around, she would also be staying for a long time. So my parents, my dad, everybody was already braced for impact, because they knew that when my mom comes around that she would be staying for long. And I can't overemphasize how helpful her stay here has been for me. Like it was very relieving for me, because she being here has helped me so much in taking care of the baby, taking care of myself. So I know that not everybody might have this opportunity to have a mom who could stay for this long, but then it's very okay to ask for help when you need it. Not just when you need it, you definitely need it as a new mom. So it's good to make these preparations on time. My mom was with me 2 days before my delivery, so make sure that whoever it is that will be coming around to help knows ahead of time and comes either ahead of time or within the first week of your delivery, because you're going to be needing a lot of help. And even if you don't get someone to stay with you, you have your spouse, you have your husband, feel free to always tell them what you need, tell them where you need help. Don't try to do this alone. Don't try to navigate this motherhood journey alone. It could be very overwhelming. Remember that your body has passed through a lot in the past 9 months. You've carried a baby, nurtured a baby for the past 9 months. You've gone through the rigorous process of labor and then the process of childbirth. Some of us had tears, which we are still trying to recuperate from in the first few weeks after delivery. So you need all the help you can get, and I am grateful that I was able to get this help that I needed. And this is one lesson that stands out for me as a new mom in the first 30 days, because there would have been no way I would cope without maximum help. The second thing that I learned is to trust my instinct. Actually, as a new mom, your instinct is very sharp. You sense a lot of things, you feel a lot of things, and you shouldn't dismiss the things you feel. I remember the first few days after we returned home from the hospital, there was this night, then the baby cot was still in our room and not in my mom's room. So that very night, I just had this sensation, like the baby made this very short sound, like just like it wasn't much, it wasn't a cry, but I didn't overlook it. Right now, let me point this out, that normally if you're staying alone and maybe you hear a sound in your bathroom, you might decide to hesitate in going to check it out, because eventually if you check it out and it happens that maybe your bedroom is flooded, it can be fixed. But when it comes to your baby, you don't need to neglect any single instinct you feel. Try to check on them, check on him or her. So I woke up that night immediately, and on checking his cot, I realized that his baby shawl was on his face, right? And that baby shawl was so thick that if it had stayed on him for a long time, it could actually suffocate him, right? But I just heard that sound. He didn't cry out, he didn't, just thought that and I picked it and I went and checked him and removed that thing from his face. Another example I can give is, there was this day we also went for an outing, and during the process we decided to we had already finished our food and everything, but we wanted to like watch this match that was going on. Then a goal was scored and everyone shouted. The shouting was so strong, like people really shouted at the top of their voices, and my baby, who was sleeping, started crying immediately. And I just sensed that, I just felt it, that this shout might not be such a good thing for a baby. And I quickly googled how much noise is okay for a baby of less than 2 months, and then it was shown to me that like babies shouldn't be subjected to a place that is so noisy, like in a concert. Although the shout wasn't up to the shout of a concert, but the fact that I didn't just feel quite comfortable that the shout was able to wake him up from sleep and then he cried, we hastened and left the environment immediately. So within this 30 days of being a mom, I learned to trust my instincts. If there is something I'm not clear on, I quickly Google. I know people say don't Google your symptoms. I don't Google the baby's symptoms. I always make sure we visit the pediatrics if there's something that has to do with health that I'm concerned about. But any other thing from checking the mirror, right? Initially, I didn't know what age was right for a baby to look into the mirror, and I Googled it because I don't want to leave anything to chance. I don't want to, do things that I'll regret later on, right? So I make sure that once there is something I want to do, my instinct picks it up that this is something I need to maybe ask Google, or this is something I need to inquire from my sister who is a midwife. I make sure to ask as many questions as possible. I have never dismissed any feeling or instinct I have about my baby, and I think this is a really good thing because it has saved me a couple of times, especially in that shawl incident. It was really helpful that I didn't dismiss that sound, I didn't dismiss the thoughts that came into my mind, right? So this is one of the things that I also learned in the first 30 days of being a mom. The third point I'm going to make is taking care of yourself. I know that as a new mom, if you don't have as much help as I did, it may be very overwhelming and you might find it very difficult to have some time for yourself. But remember that you need to be healthy to nurture a healthy baby. If you eventually fall sick, your baby depends 100% on you, and if you're not available to take care of them, I don't know, it won't be such a great thing. So as much as it's so hard, even with the maximum amount of help you have, it could still be exhausting sometimes, but still find a way to take care of yourself. Eat well, sleep as much as you can, take a walk sometimes if you have the chance, take yourself out or allow your partner to take you out and treat you to a very good meal. Exercise if you can. Just if you know anything that makes you happy, don't stop now. If seeing movies is something that makes you calm down, or listening to music or chatting with friends, you can find a way to incorporate these tasks into your daily routine so that somehow you still maintain your sanity, you still maintain your health. I know a lot of people have this postpartum depression, and sometimes it's all boiled down to too much stress, too much anxiety and all that. So it's very important to take care of yourself. I did in my first few weeks after postpartum, and although I was very, very strong immediately after I put to bed, people advise that I shouldn't look at that, and that is also a very valid point. Like some people immediately after childbirth, they feel so strong and very energetic. That was my case. And it's easy for us to feel like, okay, since I'm strong, I can actually go and carry a pail of water, I can cook, I can do everything, and then before you know it, you realize that you're worn out, you're tired, because something has gone out of you, and you have to realize that no matter how strong you feel immediately after, you still need to rest. And I did that. I didn't allow the energy surge I was feeling that period to make me forget that I'm a human being who virtue has gone out of. So I tried to take care of myself as much as I could, and this helped me to return to work when I did. And even while I returned to work, it was still very, very much easy for me because my colleagues emphasized a lot on me resting and taking as much time off as I could, and I took that advantage. I took advantage of that, and I took as many of these as I could. I rested very well, and it's something I wish that every new mom out there also tries to do. Try to take care of yourself, try to replenish the lost nutrients and the lost energy and the lost everything that you've already exhausted during the process of delivery. Another point that I would like to make is I didn't compare myself to anyone in this first few weeks. There was a strong temptation to, but I tried not to, especially when it came to my physique. I didn't add a lot of weight when I was pregnant. I looked pretty fine, like even in my stature, I didn't gain so much weight. Just, I would say I was an average I was on an average weight, right? But after I put to bed, I realized that my tummy was finding it more difficult to go back in, and I used to be this person that had a flat tummy, and then my flat tummy was gone. I had these few moments of insecurity about my flat tummy, and of course my husband was very helpful in reassuring me and letting me know that I am just good the way I am. So it's always very easy for new moms to try to compare themselves, try to compare their body with their counterparts that are in the same phase with them. You see yourself thinking, oh my god, my stomach is still as big as it was during my pregnancy, but this my friend over there has flat tummy just after 2 months after putting to bed. Or you might start trying to compare your journey, you try to start comparing your experiences, you start saying things like, my friend has help, I don't. Or maybe you see your friend taking pictures and then you have this feeling that their own baby doesn't give them sleepless night. Like, you just try to, I know those feelings can come up once in a while, where you're seeing yourself in this part where it seems like every other mother out there has everything in control and just not you. You don't have an idea of what's going on. You have no idea of why your baby doesn't sleep at night, right? It seems like every other mom out there is well rested and getting enough sleep, right? So you have to try as much as you can not to compare yourself with anyone. We are all on different journeys, we all have different expectations, our babies grow differently. Don't compare the milestone of your baby to any other person. Just focus on you, focus on your baby. If someone else's baby started sitting up at 3 weeks or 1 month, yours will eventually do that. I mean, every child grow at their own pace. Do your thing your way, do something, do anything that makes you happy and fulfilled, and also makes your baby happy and fulfilled, right? Don't compare yourself to anyone. Also, don't put so much pressure on yourself. It's okay to make mistakes. You're a new mom. Even someone who has put to bed like 4 or 5 times is still prone to make mistakes. So if you're a first-time mom, you don't need to beat yourself about it. Even if you're a 5th-time mom, 10th-time mom, it doesn't matter. There are mistakes that could happen and you don't need to beat yourself up about it. You learn in the process, you ask as much questions as you can, and I believe that you will turn out fine. You and your baby will turn out fine. The last point, the last thing that I learned during my first 30 days was to enjoy every moment. Gosh, these babies grow so fast. Sometimes I feel like I didn't get enough of him. When I see him now, I'm like, here is my 3-day-old baby that barely opened his eyes, and I just missed the whole moment. And I'm grateful that I was able to document as much as I can. I have a lot of his videos and pictures that I still look at and relish those moments. But guys, ladies, these moments pass so by, and it's not good that you spend that whole time without really enjoying those moments, because you won't be able to get them back. Once they are gone, they are gone. If you didn't take images, if you didn't take videos of them, if you didn't savor those moments, those sweet cuddles, those gentle kisses, those nudge for breast milk and all of those, if you miss them, you've missed them. You can't get them back. So as much as you can, try to savor these moments, try to appreciate these little moments, try to document these moments and these little steps as much as you can. I hope you were able to learn something from this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please, as I said, do well to subscribe. That's a way of encouraging this new mom. And also like this video, drop your comment and let me know what you think. See you in our next video.